That's how you was coming, Aubrey. That's how you was coming. Saying the hiatus did you well. You sounded very boisterous. Your voice was loud. You was here for it. You had the energy. I got enemies, got a lot of enemies, and you made it known on this project you ain't fucking with none of these niggas, and you will never forget. What's up, what's happening? I always gotta fix this motherfucker when I record. I don't know why. I don't know why. I always gotta fix this motherfucker when I record, bro. But anyways, what's up, what's happening? Big KBZ, we back in this thing. KBZ for Sheezy. We here to talk about Iceman. You know, first thoughts, just listen to it. In the wee early hours of 1:30 in the morning, I was bumping that shit. I took a nap, I ain't gonna lie. I woke up, I felt refreshed. I'm like, ooh, Iceman. So we here to talk about it. Like, subscribe, do all that. You heard me. It what it is. Now, did I know he was going to drop 2 other albums that I had to listen to? Nope. But he did. And Drake, I ain't going to lie, respectfully, you could have just gave us Iceman. At first, I thought it was a diss to Future. Because how Future be dropping, like, an album one week, and he comes back next week and drops another album. I thought it was a diss to that nigga. I thought that nigga was like, oh, nah. I hold my shit. I'm gonna just drop 3 in the same day. Fuck, one album one week and the other. Nah, 3 the same day. Now, of course, I feel like Iceman is gonna get the better sales out of the other 2, Habibti and Maid of Honor. I think it is whatever. By the way, niggas are saying Habibti, Iceman, and Maid of Honor spells him, so they're gonna be calling Drake him now. So that's a whole other thing we're gonna have to live with. But anyways, we talk about the boy, so the boy and him is not far off. So, anyways. That's going on, of course. It's not, as we've seen on the album, Future is a feature. So I'm glad they pieced it up. I said that's not only one, him and Metro potentially. I was looking through the shit. Metro didn't produce the song, so I was like, oh, I don't know where him and Metro Boomin stand, but at least him and Future is good. Him and French is good as well, so hey, it is what it is. So we'll see exactly what goes on, but of course, he's talking about the beef with Kendrick. Got some songs on here. Mostly rapping, I was surprised. I mean, he beat switches and it'll go from some singing R&B shit to some more rapping-esque shit. But I will say, I had a good time. I feel like he had to do this. I know a lot of people are going to critique it about, him talking about the beef, but I feel like he had to give us a project like that. Now, there is other projects, i.e. Maid of Honor and Habibti, which I feel like some of the songs are unfinished. He could have did a bit more. Could add more features, in my opinion. We'll get to that critique. But even with that being said, I feel like that's what he did on those projects. He was more experimenting, doing more R&B cuts, more singing pop cuts on there. Compared to here, he's just like, I'm giving y'all the real, I'm giving y'all the energy y'all want. This is how I feel about some of this bullshit that happened. And I can't be mad at that at the end of the day. So it is what it is. I know a lot of niggas gonna hate Iceman. I did enjoy it. For what Iceman was, I was entertained. I was entertained. And I enjoyed. The other 2 albums, we will have a separate video for those. Again, Iceman was the main. The other 2 albums will come bunch into a separate video and we could discuss it. But this was the main and we got a lot to talk about. So I believe it was like 18 songs on this motherfucker. I believe it was like 18. If I'm correct. Also, sorry, before I even read off the track list, Drake, what the fuck is your contract? You dropped 3 albums. What is, like, are you done with your contract with Universal? And now you just gonna sue these niggas? Like, what is this nigga's contract? Like, if I'm Universal, I don't care if I'm beefing with this nigga. There ain't no way I'm letting this nigga drop 3 projects. Are you insane? I'm stretching this shit out. It's Drake. I'm stretching this motherfucker out. Nigga, the money we could get over time. Nigga, one of these could be a mix shit. Drop a little mixtape, cool, whatever. Drop your little mixtape shit. You want to wait a week? You can drop this again. Like, nigga, what? I would have been in so... Is he out of the deal? Because ever since Certified Lover Boy, he dropped Certified Lover Boy. Honestly, Nevermind, which is like a surprise album. He came back with what? You know, the demo tape, Scary Art. You know, they were... in there a little bit. I don't remember how the fuck them niggas, they dropped that shit. We got Her Loss with him in 21. Then we got For All the Dogs. Then we got the album with Party Next Door last year. Some Sexy Songs for You. Now 3, my nigga. 3. Like, what was the album commitment on this contract with Universal? Like, you just like this. You moving like you independent. You moving like you Briss. You Briss Stoffer Brown, who's dropping like 49 song albums. Like, I got questions for this nigga. I do. But anyways, track list. Track 1, Make Them Cry. Track 2, Dust. Track 3, Whisper My Name. One of my favorites, I ain't gonna lie. That shit, one of my favorites. Track 4, Janice, Shut the F Up, or STFU. Track 5, Ran to Atlanta. Track 6, Shebang. You grew on me. You did. I'm not gonna lie. Track 7, Make Them Pay. Track 8, Burning Bridges. Track 9, National Treasure. Track 10, Bees on the Table. Track 11, What Did I Miss? What Did I Miss? We all heard that song. Track 12, Plot Twist, which I feel like leaked before because I heard this a bit. Track 13, Too Hard for the Radio. Track 14, Make 'Em Remember. Track 15, Little Birdie. Track 16, Don't Worry, which is like only like singing R&B could on this motherfucker. Track 17, Firm Friends. And track 18, Make Them Know. Now, I will tell you this right now. So, Make Them Cry, Make Them Pay, Make Them Remember, Make Them Know. It's kind of like, you could say timestamp-esque. I would say especially Make Them Remember, timestamp-esque. If you don't know, that was the leak that came out. That was 1 a.m. in Albany. It became Make Them Remember. I don't know if he didn't want to commit to making that a timestamp track, but it's timestamp-esque. I would put it in the conversation. So, again, 18 songs to dissect. We've been waiting for Iceman for almost 2 years. It finally arrived. Niggas is here to talk about it. You know, we got that time to unpack and unwind. So let's get to it. So, of course, it kind of talks about the beef. It is what it is. His dad has cancer. I would say the intro was great, as always. Does this thing, strong opening. Of course, talks about beef, him and Kendrick, the year he was having. His dad fighting cancer, which he didn't have to give us on the album, but I appreciate. So he has some real life stuff going on. He doesn't really care about some of this shit, but it doesn't help when a lot of this album is about the beef. But like I said, you have to do this, so I'm going to let you go. I'm going to let you rock. But it was what it was. Like I said, first listen, so I probably missed some shit. Yeah, but that's really all I gotta say. Of course, Dust came out. Of course, I remember the fucking track 2. I remember the fucking blow the dust off your plaques. I don't know if he was talking about Rick Ross. That's where my brain went to. I'm like, Rick Ross, nigga, dust off your plaques, nigga. I was helping you get them joints dusted off. Now remember who I was. You know what I'm saying? Again, and by the way, the production is good. 40, I don't know where you've been, or if you was going through whatever you was going through, and then Drake was out here like collabing with other niggas. You was missed, because this project sonically just even sounds different. It sounds different. You know, it's a bit of a return to form. Whisper My Name, like I said, beat crazy. That nigga was doing this thing. I loved everything about this song. Jay-Z said he'll take the $500K over the fucking dinner with Jay-Z. At this point, Drake, it is what it is. We know you and Jay. Again, another beef of his. I don't know why. I don't know what happened. Why is it like that? Again, another one. You know what I'm saying? I feel like this was just a therapy session or release for the beef. I feel like this is what this nigga was having. This is what he had going on. He had to get this off his chest to move on. So like I said, I'm letting him get it out. So when he said, like, of course, who got let out of the record deal, I believe it was on the 4th track, Giant Shut the Fuck Up. I was like, you know, you got let out your record deal, yada, yada, yada. I'm like, you talking about Kendrick. So basically, they let him out of the record. Again, I don't know. Because it looks like TDE and Kendrick is like this still, but even still, who fucking knows? Ran to Atlanta, of course, we got Pluto and Drake back together. It was cool. Shout out Marley Santen. I didn't know about you before. You did your thing. I had to go search who you was, so appreciate you. I might tap in. If you doing that, I might tap in because you was a vibe. I ain't gonna lie. Number one. But I'm happy to see Future and Drake back together. The feature wasn't the best. It could have been more, but again, if we get in Future and Drake music again, I ain't mad about it. Hey, this was passable. We'll get some better shit later on. Yeah, there was no Metro on here, so one of these days, hopefully, Drake and Metro piece it up. He said half of, I don't know if it was this. No, it wasn't this. Was it Shebang? Was it Shebang? Did he say it on Shebang? Or Make Them Pay? It was one of those songs he said it. Basically alluded to, hold on, I'm gonna have to go to the lyrics. But basically he alluded to, and like I said, our first listen, so I'm surprised I remembered some of this shit. Said, high off your success, you taking drugs or you on a drug order, smashing same woman, or you smashing my ex before. So I thought that was like some A$AP Rocky diss. I thought that's where he was going with it. Because of course A$AP Rocky's with Rihanna. I don't know the timeline, because I swear A$AP was with Rihanna, then Drake and Rihanna officially started dating, and then A$AP and Rihanna got back together. I don't know the fucking timeline, but yeah. And even A$AP and Sophie, you know what I'm saying? So, which Sophie is Drake's baby mama. So, anyways, okay, it must have been, yeah. So Shebang about Kendrick and A$AP is growing on me. I still don't really fuck with the chorus, but nah, the beat was going crazy and that nigga was talking. I will say Drake was talking a lot. This nigga was a chatty patty. I ain't gonna lie. I'm surprised there was on a Serena Williams diss on this motherfucker. There's one thing I thought about, because he's like, I'll make him pay, which I'm probably gonna have to go look at all the lyrics. Drake was talking about he could still go to LA, you know what I'm saying? He said one of the lines was well, something along the lines of, YMCA, the thing. But he says YM could still pull up in YMCA could pull up in LA, you know what I'm saying? Like, so Cash Money, we could pull up to LA, California, we straight. Like, you know what I'm saying? So he said crip walking, Kendrick bar, Serena Williams. That's what I said. He said he loves the people he beef with. Now I gotta put up the lyrics to this song, cause this nigga, he was talking. Was conductor on this motherfucker too? Now I gotta go to the credits, cause one of these ones was the conductor. Conductor was on this bitch. Yeah, cause yeah. Yeah, like that nigga was doing too much. He was rapping too damn much. Yeah. Gilbert Arenas. Yada, yada, yada. Shout out to all the sweet things from Wilhelmina. Oh, yeah, okay, yeah. And I face the way they paint me, but it hurts just like the Philly Eagles. LA love the sound. I could play a show for 1 million people. Don't be surprised if you see the whole YMCA just like Village People. This nigga right here, he was rapping, man. These niggas measure you know what I'm saying? They member their privates size in millimeters. I rack up a tab at Chanel because I do buy everything like a Middle Eastern. It's crazy. That's crazy. Other than me talking about the way I'm flipping though like Little Caesar, I'm trying to catch one of you boys stargazing in the field like little leaguers, and ain't no passes for you crip walking, all that diss talking kiddo beat it. Again, Kendrick again. I'm supposed to be my brother's keeper, so don't make us hit another buzzer beater, and don't be suddenly eager to hit me up and have no discussions either. Like I said in the other videos, I'm still a little sick. Also, he didn't make light of the thing like niggas just trying to do shows in Toronto but running away back to LA. Drake, if you really had something to do with that, that's crazy. Now you gotta plan a meeting with me just like the Russian leader and shake my fucking hand in front of the other people. Since 2009, I climbed the ladder. They envy me like Nevada, but it never mattered. My niggas run a phone soon as you check into prison. You niggas run to talk to Ho for a second opinion. Me, I stood 10 T's and accepted the mission. Now, because there's a nigga called 2 T's from TDE, when he said 10 T, I'm like, hold on. Like, I know 10 toes, but even still, I was like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, here it is. I love you because of the history, but if we being real, I could never forgive you. And you never called me back, but destiny's written for real. By the way, Drake, the fact, again, another song leaked. They called it 3 a.m. in New Orleans. But I think he played a snippet of it during one of his fucking Iceman episodes. But even with that being said, This nigga, he was talking about, now I know how it feels to be meek when we was going at, like, it was such a reflective track. I was so mad it didn't make that album. I was so mad. Because that shit was it was tough, man. So mad. So fucking mad. That's so fucking, yeah, bro. There's too many. Oh, yes. Here, sorry. Well, maybe I'm best as the villain because I got real numbers on niggas who say they got billions. I got all the chains they ever repped in Virginia. I got niggas prized possessions. I got possessive on niggas. You know what I'm saying? So, of course, we all know, like how Drake has the Tupac ring where he has some Pharrell jewelry. Yeah, this and that. So I thought that was a shot at Pharrell, of course, maybe even Push by association. But I think he has a Push bar later on. Oh yeah, the microphone. I forgot he had a Push the microphone. I impress in everything. I get impressive on niggas. I got problems with people who I would have never dreamed. And that's dragging people in who don't want to get in between. Dog, I was Aiden Ross with streams before Aiden Ross had ever streamed. That was crazy too. That was crazy. Yeah, man. And then Rick Ross over here like, man, you know, we'll get over it. Oh, God. And Khaled, you know what I mean. The beef was fully live. You went halal and got on your dean. And your people are still waiting for pre-Palestine. Or Palestine, I don't know how you pronounce it. He said Palestine. But apparently everything isn't black and white and red and green. Damn. I'm seeing everybody's true colors. For real. I'm sensing the theme. I'm greater than everybody in some shredded shit. Like some shredded shit. That's crazy. Yeah. That nigga was talking. This probably shit I didn't even catch. I'm expecting this Joe Budden podcast to be like a good 3 to 4 hours. I'm not gonna lie to you. Hey, listen, respectfully, whoever else dropped, respectfully, this nigga dropped 3 projects. And just off the one project, I feel like they could go an hour just discussing. I ain't even gonna cap. Yeah, this song was tough. I ain't even gonna lie. Who has producer credits on this? I need to know. No, this was Fly Williams and Orv Cast. Who did the intro? Yeah. So the conductor do the last one? Or was it Make 'Em Remember? Or was it Firm Friends? That's the one conductor did. Yeah. I knew conductor was somewhere. I was like, this nigga's somewhere. Anyways. That was Make Them Pay. Sorry, I went on a long soliloquy. What was that? I think Brendan Bridges, that nigga was talking about Pusha and Kendrick again. Like, this nigga just talking about all his beefs. That's literally the album. National Treasure, of course. He spoke about, what's my nigga name? DeMar DeRozan, which, you gotta let that go. DeMar DeRozan good, bro. He good in Toronto. Let that go. Let that go. I don't know what did these niggas do? I really don't know what okay, fine. The nigga appeared in the Not Like Us video. Fine. I understand. And that's your friend. He been in Toronto for years. Y'all cool. I understand. But even, it's like, what that nigga really did? Bees on the Bobby was talking this shit. Shout out 21 Savage. He was on that. Again, not the best collab they had, but again, Mr. Recoup, I didn't like either. This was at least better than that in my opinion. It was cool. What did I miss? Everybody heard. I'm not going to talk about that. Plot twist. I heard the leak to this. Again, talking his shit. As usual, more braggadocio. I got guns. Y'all can't play with me. Yada, yada, yada. Cool. Too Hard for the Radio was cool. Again, some of these songs I was just like, whatever at this point. Not that they were mid, but I feel like the run from Shebang, Make Them Pay, Burning Bridges, and National Treasures. Even though Burning Bridges, I don't really like the chorus that much, but I feel like that was a good run. I'd even throw Bees on the Table in there. But but Too Hard for the Radio was calm. It wasn't the best, but it was calm. Again, 14, Make Them Remember. I did a separate video to it, breaking down all the shit he was saying about niggas, but yeah. Fire. It was fire. This was the one that was called 1 a.m. in Albany. Low Brady as well was fire, too. Niggas ain't gonna talk about that shit. Oh, 40 was on this motherfucker. Yeah, like Lil Brady, of course, Betrayal, Loyalty, and the Aftermath. of the beef. You know, he was talking his shit. Don't Worry was like the only singing cut on here, I think. Like, he was really like going for it, like on some R&B shit. Like, not to say he wasn't rapping, but like that was the only like R&B-esque track, if you will. Yeah, like a 4-minute R&B track, like, you know what I'm saying? He was just talking. I was surprised because it was like, it's been mostly rap so far. So I was like, oh wow. Friends, again, probably another one of my favorite tracks. Goes crazy. Talks his shit. I think this is where, again, another Pusha shot was like, he was just doing this thing. It was what it was. Like, again, a lot of these tracks he dissing niggas. He disses Kendrick a lot. So again, I could just sit here and tell you all the Kendrick disses, but like, I'm tired. Nigga, I read Make Them Pay. Like, I don't know how many songs you want me to read. Of course, Conductor was on this shit, timestamp-esque. He was doing this thing. And of course, Make Them Know. Again, closed out album. Still talking this shit. I'm not gonna act like he wasn't talking this shit. He was doing this thing. It's all about karma, how niggas switched up on him. The lawsuit I got is fired till they switch the R. Till the R switched place with the I. I was fired. Anyways. They frame it as people retire, but you know what's the truth and a lie, and they act like we signing a deal when they pay me for wasting my time, and they acting like I lost my appeal, but they pay me for changing their mind. They got wind of that fact I was hit, and the whole road started to chime. Not scared of no suit or no tie, cause shit, victory always been mine. If I free up, my bro gotta live with it. Yeah, bro, I don't know. This nigga just here, bro. Now, Drake, after this project, bro, we can't hear none of this. Well, we know there's gonna be subliminals for niggas, we know. I feel like, yo, the fact that certain niggas jumped in this beef really pissed you off and you never gonna fuck with them niggas again, perfectly fine. I'm not here to change your mind. But even with that being said, bro, it's just one of those, it's like, you really had to let this out. After this, the next project, I ain't trying to hear about your beef with LeBron, your beef with DeMar DeRozan, your beef with Ricky Rose. You know what I'm saying? Kendrick, yeah, it's always gonna be subliminals. I ain't gonna ask you about it. Yeah, there's certain niggas I know, but there's some of these beefs you just gotta let it go. It's easier said than done, I understand. But like, this was like a beef album. Now, like I said, he gave us 2 other albums where he was doing more R&B pop music. So again, if that's for you and that's what you wanted to hear, you could definitely go over there. But even with that being said, I was entertained. For what the album was, I feel like it was good. The production was great. And he was doing his thing. And I feel like he had to do this on this project. That's why maybe he dropped the other 2 projects. Like, here you go. Here's some of the R&B pop shit y'all like from me. I'm going to give it to y'all just on separate. But this, I got to get my shit off. And it's crazy. I remember when this nigga said, I can't do a full rap album. You pretty much did. Besides Don't Worry, you pretty much did. So it is just crazy. Again, the features for what there were good. Was Sexy on this motherfucker? No, Sexy was on the other ones. So yeah, for what it was, Future did his thing. Savage did his thing. Well, could have been better, but whatever. Miley Santana I enjoyed. Again, I'm probably forgetting some niggas. I'm sorry. I think Tizo Touchdown was either on this or one of the other 2. See, like, yeah, the features are kind of just whatever, right? I know Party was on either Habibti or Maid of Honor. He was on one of them joints. But yeah, it's a good project. I'm not mad at it. I just want to see where he goes from here. If this is going to be the album after the beef, or I guess these 3 albums are the albums after the beef, what will the newer album sound like? And honestly, Drake, you don't have to come back. Not to say we don't want more music, but take your time. Nigga, you gave us 3. You could go sit down for 2 years. It's okay. Like you say, your pops is dealing with some medical issues. You want to be there for him. I understand. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know where this goes, but I will say I enjoyed the project. Now, some people's probably going to hate it. I enjoyed the project for what it was, which I knew this nigga was going to shoot at niggas. Did I think he was going to shoot at niggas for majority of the songs? No. But, yo, I was entertained. I enjoyed, and you could say what you want. Maybe it's repetitive. Same subject matter, but that boy could rap his ass off, and he was rapping. And the one thing I do respect about Drake is he will go at niggas. Lose or win, he will still go at niggas. And I gotta respect it at the end of the day. I gotta respect it. He always gonna, yeah, he gonna show up. He might complain, but he gonna show up. You know what I'm saying? So I do gotta give him that. So again, I enjoyed the project. Let me give you some songs I liked. Again, like I said, production was good. I can't really hate on it. It's just really subject matter. The beats, production's great. I got no complaints. Maybe more features. I would appreciate it. Shit, I don't want to hear like a Drake and Glorilla song. I feel like that would be tough. Baby was over here pledging his allegiance to you. He didn't even make the album. Crazy. But of course, Make Them Cry, Whisper My Name was probably one of my favorites. Run to Atlanta's cool. I'll put it in there. Run to Atlanta's cool. Shebang. Make Them Pay, of course. National Treasure was hard. Bees on the Table. I do like. What Did I Miss? Just because I enjoyed it when it first came out, so I'm going to just say it again. Plot Twist was cool. Make Them Remember, of course. Lil Birdie, Loki was tough. Don't worry, I liked it. Just because it was different on the project, I enjoyed it. A lot of Firm Friends and Make Them Know. So again, out of what? For me, there's only 4 songs I was like, eh. Dust, Janice, and what else? Burning Bridges. And I didn't say National Treasure, right? Yeah. And I do like National Treasure. So again, I like the majority of the project. So it was what it was. Now, will it have that replay value? We might have to have a discussion about that later on. But like I said, this is just first listen vibes. We're going to come back, talk about the other 2 albums. And then maybe, who knows, a month or 2, I might come back and give my final opinion on this project. Once I lived with it a bit, yeah, I will say it's cold outside with all the beef. And you was talking about the beef. It's cold outside, but hey, we'll see how it is as time passes and that shit goes on. But besides that, hey, it's your friendly neighborhood K.A. signing off for today. The Black TJ Dead Wilder doing this thing. My name ring bells like Quasimodo. Hit like, subscribe, and hype. You trying to hear a little bit more, you heard me. And I'm gone. Slimes on Peace out, else gang. Aye.